Another expert confronts his fears concerning black holes. He says an entire universe could collapse into a supermassive giant. I guess this has to do with what the astronomers have lately found at the edge of our solar system. Others concerning what is perturbing the orbits of our outermost planets. The Caltech scientists Badigan and Brown saying a couple of years back that they believe it could be Planet X, Nibiru, and Wormwood, perturbing the orbits of our outermost planets. Others saying it could be a brown dwarf at the edge of our solar system. Actually, NASA has confirmed a couple of years back there was a woman who announced it. Now here you have a sample size of a brown dwarf star compared to Jupiter and our Sun and Earth. Of course, our Sun is not considered a big sun, but there are gigantic, massive suns that are a lot bigger than our Sun. But look at this brown dwarf. So they said that we could have a brown dwarf at the edge of our solar system. It's a type of substellar object, has a mass between those of the heaviest gas giant planets and the least massive stars. That's about 13 to 75 to 80 times that of Jupiter. And there's a range of sub-brown dwarfs, sometimes referred to as rogue planets. And rogue planets, when we think of that, we're thinking about, okay, we will go into that. Planet X, Nibiru, Wormwood, Nemesis, whatever you want to call it. And they, above all, are the least massive red dwarfs. Brown dwarfs may be fully convective with no layers or chemical differentiation by depth. And unlike the stars in the main sequence, brown dwarfs are not massive enough to sustain nuclear fusion of ordinary hydrogen to helium in their cores, but they are thought to be fuse. They are thought to fuse deuterium, which is H2, and to fuse helium, lithium, and their mass is 65 megajoules. It's also debated whether brown dwarfs would be better defined by their formation process rather than by their nuclear fusion reactions. They are categorized as spectral class, with brown dwarfs designated types M, L, T, and Y. And despite their name, brown dwarfs are of different colors. Many brown dwarfs would likely appear magenta to the human eye, or possibly orange or red, and brown dwarfs are not very luminous at visible wavelengths. Now, this is what we have at the edge of our solar system. It's confirmed. The theory for star birth is through the gravitational collapse of a cold interstellar cloud of gas, and the cloud contracts and heats due to mechanisms. Early in the process, the contracting quickly radiates away much of the energy, allowing the collapse to continue. Eventually, the central region becomes dense to trap radiation, and the central temperature and density collapse cloud increases with time, contracting until conditions are hot and dense enough for the thermonuclear reactions to occur in the core of the protostar. If the mass of this normal hydrogen thermonuclear fusion reaction will not ignite the core, gravitational contraction does not heat the small protostar. So in effect, this is like a type of a star. So high mass brown dwarf versus low mass. Lithium is generally present in brown dwarfs and not in low mass stars. And they have methane, they have iron rain, and low mass brown dwarf versus high mass planets. Like stars, brown dwarfs form independently, but unlike stars, lack sufficient mass to ignite. And like other stars, they can occur singly or in close proximity to other stars. Some orbit stars can, like planets, have eccentric orbits. Now, when we look at this, and we talk about this being at the edge of our solar system, we talk about we can immediately think about our binary star. Okay, our binary star, there are those, especially from the ancient Greek times, believe that Earth had a binary star, as do a lot of astronomers. And we'll talk about that later, because that will have to go into Planet X, Nibiru, and what's beyond and what's coming in at regular time cycles, celestial time cycles. but that's for other videos. Right now, we are talking about the black holes, and I guess this is because of the fact that recently, and you'll find it in my yesterday's video, they believe that the perturbations of the outer planets of our solar system could also be caused by, they have various theories, one of them being that it could be caused by a small black hole at the edge of our solar system. Now, going back to this, the expert confirms that he's afraid that the entire universe will collapse into a supermassive giant. This is by expert Dr. Joe Pesce, who explains his concerns of a supermassive monster that could one day devour the whole universe, or whatever is around our cosmos at the time. National Science Foundation Program Director Dr. Pesce addressed his fears that the entire universe could collapse into a supermassive black hole, and he did this on a recent space.com Ask Me Anything lecture. And one space enthusiast asked the expert, have we to date witnessed a perceivable increase in the mass of a black hole due to matter falling into it? And if that's the case, and black holes simply get larger and larger as they continue to consume matter, doesn't that mean that eventually the universe will simply collapse into one supermassive black hole? And Pesce was fortunately able to reassure the public the universe's demise by a black hole was not possible, quote unquote, not possible. He said black holes generally feed slowly in a relative sense, such that the added mass is a small percentage of the total mass. He explained this is true for a stellar-sized black hole, say with 5 times the mass of the Sun, pulling mass from a nearby companion star, or a supermassive black hole, say 1 billion times the mass of our Sun, consuming a star with 2 to 3 solar masses. So if we have sensitive enough instruments, we could measure that change, but I don't believe we are quite there yet, he said. The universe is now known to be expanding at an ever-expanding rate. Now, I don't know if that would overcome the speed of light. I doubt it, because then you wouldn't have matter like it is now. But anyway, that means that the content is going farther away from everything else. So the astronomer said, so probably the whole universe collapsing into a black hole is not possible. The biggest black holes, such as the one we discovered, they took pictures of this last year, black hole M87, boasts 6.5 billion solar masses, he says, but the galaxy in which that black hole resides is found has trillions of solar masses in gas, dust, stars, and dark matter. Therefore, although the black hole is unimaginably massive, it's relatively minuscule compared with the rest of the cosmic neighborhood around it. But astronomers have now detected a black hole so large it even dwarfs M87. The scientists have since the 1990s suspected most large galaxies in the universe are likely to have a black hole. And thanks to new research led by astronomers from Australian National University, the latest undisputed heavyweight contender has been found with roughly 34 billion times the mass of our Sun. This is SMBH J2157. It's the fastest growing black hole and the largest quasar observed to date. And remember that the black holes eat matter, but they also spit it out in forms of quasars and renewing the matter again. So the ANU, Australian National University, Dr. Christopher Onken, revealed in recent press release what they found was rather surprising. He said the black hole's mass is also about 8,000 times bigger than the black hole in the center of our Milky Way galaxy. So if the Milky Way's black hole wanted to grow that fat, it would have to swallow 2/3 of all the stars in our galaxy. And we're seeing it at a time when the universe was only 1.2 billion years old, less than 10% of its current age. It's the biggest black hole that's been weighing in this early period of the universe. And more on the binary stars and more on Planet X and Nibiru coming up. But before that, we're going to go into the fact that we have Bible. I want to go into the Bible verses that discuss the existence of space and sky and stars above us, planets and stars, because there are those that say that there is no space and there are no stars or planets. So we have to confirm that, yes, the Bible confirms that God did create the heavens and the stars above us, and the bodies that shine during the day and the bodies that shine during the night, and that all the stars in heaven sang with joy when God created mankind. And this is by Tom Fish on Express UK, and I'll leave a link below for you for brown stars as well. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.